All right, so to start off, we created note cards that were going to be kind of like our requirements and questions that we wanted to ask. So basically, like, what purpose do we want our furniture to do? What are some problems with it? And we listed a few solutions as well. Now, after creating these note cards, we then went ahead and we took one of them and we did our research cards. And our research cards basically was just research that we did on the piece of furniture that we chose, which we decided we wanted to do a kid-like chair. So chairs made for like toddlers and children like that. So then we create a non-essential and essential list from one of those note cards from the previous one that we made, and we turned that into our research cards. In this next clip, you'll see that we all got together in two different groups and we basically reviewed each other's designs and we talked about like different flaws that might happen and we got peer feedback evaluation from each other. It's my group and I decided to go ahead and we started with our sketches. So we had to do a total of 2 sketches from 2 different ideas. The first sketch was the kid-like chair, and the second one was actually one that I found on this site, and it's basically like a bench type chair, but it was connectable, and it also could be a flat pack as well. In the group, to keep each other organized, we had a Kanban board where we assigned different tasks to do. Now, after doing that, my group and I went ahead and we started doing the Artie Works. In this clip, you can see Thomas preparing our Artie Works and going over the measurements and everything. He's putting it into Artie Works for us. This leads us to making our prototype. So after we put it into Artie Works, we went ahead and we went to the printer, we printed it out, and we were able to assemble it together, and this is what it looks like. And here's a picture of Jasmine sitting on it. One of the main requirements was that our cardboard furniture had to fulfill its purpose. So since ours was sitting like a chair that can fit for children, we kind of had to use to Jasmine because since she was the smallest, and we used her basically as a model, so we can be able to critique ourselves with with this prototype. So when we do our final build, it can come out perfect, like as described.
Laser cutter. We designed a mushroom-shaped chair because it works. We laminated it with one layer, and then in the inside, you can see there's another layer. It's not glued together, it's laminated on top of each other. And then we have the top here, which is also built up of 2 layers. And if you look here, you can see where we used Artie Works to make holes.
Right, yes, I'll put it
and cut the holes.
At this point now, we're going into the final build, and as you can see, Daisy's coming up with the measurements and beginning to do the Artie Works. At this point, we created the Artie Works file, and some complications came up, but we were able to push through and we printed, and this is what our final build looks like. It looks pretty much the same as the prototype, except just bigger. After printing out our final project, we then, the next day, we all put in funds, and so Jasmine went out to Dollar Tree and bought us some decorations, and we assembled it, and this is what our final build altogether looks like. As previously mentioned, the goal was for our furniture to actually function. So here is to Jasmine sitting on our final project. So during this whole process, as a group, we came across many stressful situations. One of those being when we lost the files on the drive. When we went to go print, apparently like the file that we saved did not actually save because it was a faulty drive, I guess. And we kept like messing up and having to redo it over and over again. Another stressful situation was coming up with what we were going to do. Since we're all creative, we all came up with different ideas, and we're trying to incorporate all of our ideas together into one, which, as you can tell, came across many problems of how we're gonna do this, how we're gonna do that.
Our design process that we put Intuit was amazing. We decorated our chair, our childlike chair, with blue fur and white fur, with some purple tilly on top of it to make it pop. We wanted our design to stand out. So me being the extra person that I am, went out and with the funds of my other team to decorate our chair. And I think that was my favorite part of the project because it's something that I really enjoy doing. And yeah.
Okay, starting with our first process, we made sure we brainstormed and got all our ideas onto note cards, and then we went online and we looked up different ideas, making sure we could incorporate those ideas into our brainstorming process. Then it was time to prototype. We made sure we got the correct measurements onto ArtieWorks. That way we could get a perfect cut. That way we could put our prototype together very nicely. And after that, it was pretty much easy. All we had to do was our final build, and well, we just increased the size and measurements on ArtieWorks. We ran into a few issues on ArtieWorks, but other than that, we worked together as a team very well, made sure that everything was nicely done, and we got our final build done.
Really pretty fun. Working with Jasmine was really enjoyable. It was really easy to work with her. She came up with ideas on spot. If there was an issue, me and her could work it out and figure it out together. Working with Dominic was pretty fun too. He helped me work in ArtieWorks and figure out the measurements for the prototype and the official final build. Working with Grant was pretty cool too because anytime that I came through struggles or something I didn't understand, I know that I could reach out to Grant and ask him questions, or he could find someone else to do it for us. So overall, working with all three of my teammates was really enjoyable, and I would do it again.
Here.